Welcome back, dear viewers. You're still watching Nile Cruise on Nile TV from a very special place here in Cairo from the Media Club at El Manial, dear viewers. And in this context, dear viewers, we have with us prospects for Egypt's winter tourism season are promising with more and more people getting vaccinated and safety measures applied throughout the country. The country announced earlier this year that it had vaccinated all workers in the tourism sector in the Red Sea resort with vaccinations efforts for tourism workers in Luxor and Aswan ongoing. And in this context, dear viewers, we have with us a very special guest that we're proud to have with us today in Nile Cruise, Dr. Atef, tourism expert and PhD Sustainable Heritage Tourism. A very good day, sir, Dr. Amr. It's a pleasure to have you with us in today's episode of Nile.
It's my pleasure, thank you.
Sir, how do you assess a tourist flow into Luxor, and do you believe that classical tourism is back on the correct track again?
Assessing tourism in Luxor is really important. I mean, especially that we are at the beginning of the fall. I mean, the fall season here in Egypt. And you know that Luxor is considered to be one of the most important cities that accommodates travelers worldwide. And I do believe that tourism will be back on track for the coming 2 years at least. Most of the bookings are, and the expectations of the bookings for the coming season is very high. And the hotel occupancy, especially in Luxor and in Cairo, is almost 100% for the coming season I'm talking.
Okay, sir, in the context that I brought up and mentioned at the beginning about the vaccination of all the employees that are in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh and Luxor and Aswan, how do you read this as we are awaiting a very important event that's taking place here in Egypt, and it's going to be a global event that's going to be a turning point in Egypt's history, which is the COP27. How do you read this?
The COP27 is very important, I think, and it came on the right time. And people now worldwide are waiting to attend the COP27 summit in Sharm el-Sheikh under the supervision of the Egyptian government and the invitation of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi. There are people from Europe, people from the US and from Australia, and you'll be amazed that there is not a single room available. There are lots of friends that call us that they want to get a room or even an apartment in Sharm el-Sheikh at the time, and it's very difficult to find that. So I think this will be also a good advertisement for Egypt, especially that global warming and the climate changing has been a trending topic worldwide. And Egypt was the first country that reacted to the I would call the climate changing from the ancient Egyptian times when the Nile stopped to flood. And at that point, they moved from one place to another, and they started moving to El Fayoum oasis when there was a drought in Egypt. And that's why El Fayoum was created, and they built the first dams, if we're talking, to accumulate the water behind the dams. Egypt was the first country to do that in the 5th dynasty and the 6th dynasty BC.
Sir, preparing the Road of Rams in Luxor is considered to be one of the most important archaeological projects undertaken by the state. What is the significance of this very important project in light, of course, of what the entire world witnessed on the day of the inauguration, and we were all at that day very proud Egyptians?
Of course, the opening of the Ram parade the Ram Road in Luxor was one of the very important events that happened, and it took place on the 25th of November. 25th of last November. When they opened the Sphinxes, the Ram's Sphinx Road in Luxor. People from all over the world was attending this ceremony, and it's considered to be one of the biggest promotion projects for Egypt. As you know, Luxor itself, of course, is a famous city. Add to that the idea of restoring the Sphinxes. People come and ask about about the sphinxes and about the restoration, and they attend. I mean, they have seen the ceremony all over, and I think it promoted Egypt. It's this Instagramic tour, if we can say. People want to travel and see new things, so they want to do this Instagramic tour. They want to take a picture and put it on Instagram, and this is a good promotion. Plus, the government, I mean, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, has allowed taking pictures and open it up a little bit, so that will be a good advertisement for Egypt, you know.
Sir, Egypt never hesitates, of course, in each and every archaeological discovery that that dazzles the entire world. Why does this happen from your own perspective?
Egypt, I mean, if you're talking about ancient Egyptian history, it's wide and it's humongous, and we're talking 5,000, 6,000 years of civilization. Recently, the Bobastian tombs in Saqqara that has been discovered by Dr. Mustafa Waziri. I mean, it's named after Dr. Mustafa Waziri. This discovery is amazing, and people come from all over the world and ask day in and day out about the new tombs that they had discovered. I mean, the colors of the coffins, and I mean, almost 200 coffins, and like tons and tons of bronze statues and mummies, and so people want to do this, want to see the new things. It's the new Egypt now. We always say Egypt is not the traveler's mother's Egypt or grandmother's Egypt. It's new Egypt, and this is what people want to come and see. This new Egypt with the new discoveries. Luxor, the cruise from Luxor to Aswan and those classic tours, of course, are important, but still people want to come and see new Egypt, and this brings to the mind and the of the people, of the travelers, the Indiana Jones movies, and they want to do the same thing, and they want to take a picture and post it, and so again it's the Instagramic tour that's more appealing, and again the new Egypt.
Luxor International Airport is being discovered or decorated to receive tourists from all over the world. How far does the, of course, image of the airport enhance promoting the great city?
Luxor Airport is well known worldwide, and we just need to mention that the word Luxor was named by the Arabs when they came here. The word Luxor means the palace or the city of palaces, so that's where the name came from. And people are always waiting and coming to see Luxor. Luxor Airport now is doing lots of preparations for the fall season, and from the minute the traveler will arrive to the airport, they will start to see a new way of accommodation, new way of arrival, new way of service, and that will be an added value for the tour. And of course, as you know, Luxor has more than 1/3 of the ancient monuments of the world. We're talking the Valley of the Kings and the Valley of the Queens, and the Temple of Hatshepsut, Karnak and Luxor Temple. So I think that will be a great season, hopefully.
Hopefully, sir. After the opening of Sharm el-Sheikh and Hurghada museums, the Tourism and Antiquities Ministry announced that Egypt will be launching direct flights from Sharm el-Sheikh to Luxor and from Hurghada to Aswan to enable tourists to enjoy cultural tourism flow. What your motto, sir?
In the past, we used to classify the tourists as resort travelers or culture tourism. Now it became this mix and match between both classical tourism and culture tourism, and also resort tourism, especially that the government had opened the museum in Sharm el-Sheikh, so it became a mix between both. People would go enjoy the beach, enjoy the sea and the sun that only, I mean, exists in Egypt at that time of the year. And then after that, they want to go and see the museum of Sharm el-Sheikh and the museum of Hurghada, and then those flights will increase the number of travelers, so it will be increasing the culture tourism, adding to the resort tourism. There is a great idea now with all what's happening in the world, and maybe people can hear us, I mean on the Nile TV International, that we can accommodate the travelers from Europe and especially with all they have energy issues with I mean gas issues and energy issues and heating issues, warming issues and heating issues in Europe. So we can accommodate them in the winter time when we have this warm winter. So we can turn Egypt to a winter resort to the European travelers, and that will cost them less and will be more pleasant. If you go to Europe today, and I have friends that arrived only a few days ago from Paris and from different European cities, it's not the same because of the energy issues they have and because of the gas and electricity. So maybe we can take advantage of that, and we can turn Egypt to an accommodating winter resort for people from Europe, for our friends from Europe for this winter.
Thus enhancing tourism in winter and in summer.
You can say that again, enhancing tourism in winter for the coming winter season and in summer. So they can stay in our hotels, they can stay in our beaches and even homes. I mean, the Airbnb, and people now want to travel and stay with families. So we can do that. We can turn Egypt to a big winter resort, and that will be good for tourism and for the promotion of tourism.
Dr. Amr, this makes us enhancing Arab and international tourism in the North Coast in summer and in winter in the Red Sea resort of Sharm el-Sheikh, and of course the other resorts over there.
Absolutely. I mean, the Arab, our friends from the Arab countries, I mean, from United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia, Kuwait, I mean, they already go to...
They were here all through summer.
Yes, they were here all through.
We had kings of Bahrain, we had kings of all the of the United Arab Emirates.
Yeah, they had the summit that was in Al Alamein city, and lots of the Arab leaders attended the summit. And I think that was also a great promotion, and our friends and families from the Arab countries, from the Gulf lands, from the Gulf countries came and spent their summer holiday in Al Alamein, and so that will be good. It's a win-win situation, I would say.
As part of Tourism and Antiquities Ministry's strategy for digital transformation, some museums operated C-payment machines for museum entry tickets. Would you, sir, tell us more about this and the significance and the ministry's project to develop visitor services, sir?
Absolutely. I mean, the new minister, the Ministry of Tourism and Antiquities, and the new Minister of Tourism and Antiquities, I think he started with a great job. I mean, with advertising Egypt, and I mean, he's very active, and I see him on TV all the time and visiting the gem, visiting the sites. Now, turning the tickets to this ticketing and electronic payment all through the temples, that will control the revenue of tourism. I mean, all over the country, and that will be good for the economy, of course. And I think that will make it easier. Along the years, there were lots of travelers who would come here and wanted to pay by their credit card or by, and we would. I mean, this was not available. So now people can pay by credit card, and now we don't need to get those tickets in our hands. It's just electronic system. So they just click this number in Atef, in Kumambo, in Aswan, and that's it, and we just go. So that makes it easier, and also it's turning. I mean, it's a turning point for going green. So it's helping environment, especially that we're talking about the COP and the environment changing and the worldwide.
Do you believe that the inauguration of the Grand Egyptian Museum, the GEM, will change the tourism map of Cairo and the entire world, the entire world?
Absolutely. The GEM is one of the greatest projects. It's the biggest Egyptian museum worldwide that accommodates...
Sir, worldwide or in the Middle East?
It's the biggest Egyptian museum worldwide that accommodates Egyptian artifacts. So it's almost 120,000 pieces over more than like 140 acres. So that's humongous area. And the idea of building the GEM being a kingship museum is interesting. I mean, there will be a section, and every section for a king or a queen, and the background will be the pyramids and the desert, and travelers will go and have a look at the artifacts in a place that looks like the original place where it was found. So that's another added value. Plus the design of the museum from the inside and the outside makes it more fun and more up-to-date visit. So I think, and also they had this airport. I mean, the airport of Sphinx Airport. That, I mean, travelers can come, and I mean, transit travelers, businessmen, and others would come and can spend a day visiting the museum and the pyramid. I'm talking about the gem and the pyramid, and maybe spend hours and fly out. In the past, the travelers of the transit had to have, I mean, didn't have this option. So I think that will be another added value for the tour. So the gem is amazing, and we're just waiting, maybe next November that will be opened.